When dealing with these challenging times, a good question to ask might be, what would the Queen of Cups do? The Queen of Cups is, of course, one of the ruling feminine sovereigns of the tarot, and I believe this card actually unlocks a lot of great lessons for how we can deal with such challenging times that we're living in. My name's Keisha of New World Mind and Spirit, and today we're going to go over 3 lessons of the Queen of Cups tarot card. So back when I did the full moon in Sagittarius vlog, I asked how we can deal with the craziness, the emotional action and all that's happening right around now and what's happening with 2020 at the moment. And the card that presented itself was the Queen of Cups. And I thought that was an amazing message to hear, and it made so much sense. And even to reinforce that, I started seeing the Queen of Cups card everywhere. So I started seeing other tarot readers presenting the same card, and it just made so much sense. And I absolutely it's genius answer from the universe, I believe. And of course, of the 4 queens in tarot, the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Compassion. She's the Queen of Nurturing. She's the Queen of Mercy. She is the kindest and most motherly queen of the tarot. She's also the Queen of Emotions and the Queen of the subconscious. And I believe that this card, in addition to teaching us to be more self-compassionate to ourselves and more compassionate to others, I also believe that dealing with the subconscious and dealing with the nation, the subconscious of the nation, right now, a lot of shadows that we haven't dealt with are coming to the fore. And this queen is the queen of that as well. And I believe that that's something that we all need to do. But I wanted to go deeper, and I wanted to really see what other lessons this powerful card has to teach us. And I wanted to do that by exploring some of my favorite Queen of Cups cards from different decks. Okay, so let's do that. So here we're going to explore 3 lessons that I found that the Queen of Cups card brings on how to really claim our emotional sovereignty during challenging times. Okay, so the first lesson is that a queen, no matter what, is a devout believer in her own self-worth. And I have 2 cards here from the Art Nouveau, the Queen of Cups from the Art Nouveau Tarot, and also from the Dark Mansion Tarot. And if you take a look at these 2 queens, I see, first of all, we see a crown, adorning both these beautiful queens' head. And we also see that they're seated on a throne. And we also see that there's just, especially with this Queen of Cups here, the gorgeous, she has so much adornment. And you see all these pearls and jewelry and lavish materials. And the reason that queens are expected to look so much more regal than the average woman was because their self-worth was so much higher. They regarded themselves to literally have God-given power to rule over their kingdom. God-given power to be the sovereign of their kingdom. And their belief was serious. How serious was it? Well, in many cases, even when queens were vilified, there were many queens that were hated, vilified throughout history. And many of them were basically imprisoned, and many of them were imprisoned to be executed. And even at that time, even when their country had turned their back on them and basically said, yeah, you're no longer, we don't no longer think you're worth having the crown. We don't want you here. We want you gone. They still had stuck to their queenliness, and they would actually demand a household fit to their station, even while they're sitting in the tower waiting execution. They wanted a certain household size because that's what a queen deserves. They wanted certain furnishings because that is what a queen deserves. And this wasn't, to me, just an act. It literally was something that they felt and believed at the core of their being. And I think a lesson of this card is the Queen of Cups is a queen. And we always associate this card with compassion and mercy. That's certainly part of it. But that has to come from somewhere. It has to stem from somewhere. And it starts with your self-worth. You should be an absolute, devoted, devout, a complete devotee to your self-worth. And knowing that you matter. And that you bring so much to this table, so much to this game here on earth, that you are invaluable. And that you come, no matter what anyone says, from a proud lineage, a proud line of people before you, of ancestors who were warriors, who were pioneers, and who changed the world before you, and you are going to continue to do the same. The world is not the same without you. And I think that's an important lesson here. And hey, doll yourself up like these queens here. Put on some necklaces, and you don't have to break the bank, but do whatever it takes to crown yourself and become an absolute devotee, unwavering devotee to your own self-worth. That's the first lesson. The second lesson we have is that a queen loves herself and accepts herself wholly. All of herself. That's lesson number 2. And in these 2 cards here, we have a card from the Alchemical Tarot and also from just the Rider-Waite Smith. And in these 2 cases, we have closed cups. And many of the Queen of Cups cards, especially because the original Rider-Waite Smith card has a closed cup for the Queen of Cups. This to me represents the subconscious and the murky depths of our own subconscious, our secrets, the shadow aspect of ourselves. So when we talk about, truly loving yourself, it's impossible to love yourself wholly unless you look at and deal with and forgive and embrace the dark aspects of yourself. And I think that's something that's extremely important to do to grow into your greatest power. And I believe that is also a huge lesson of the Queen of Cups card. And it's important to not just, love what's light and pretty and fluffy, but it's to also embrace the subconscious stuff you kind of stuff down into your soul. And to really take a look at it. And to know even your shadow aspects, the parts that you don't want to look at, have their strengths. And it's often been vilified by people. And those same things that are vilified, for example, many women are afraid of coming across as bitches or as being too much or too powerful, too big, too much, too this, too sexy. And I believe that is part of your power as well. Yes, can it be destructive? Absolutely. But yes, is there power in that as well? Absolutely. And it's important to really take a look at what is inside those covered dark cups and embrace that. Forgive yourself if you have to. If there's things that you feel bad about, forgive yourself. And then love it and embrace it. A queen always loves herself wholly, even the things that people vilify her for, always. All right, and finally, lesson number 3 is a queen always practices compassion to others, even when it's hard and even when it's challenging. And we have 2 Queen of Cups cards here from the Egyptian Tarot and also from the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. And what I want to really point out about this card is this lesson of the Queen of Cups is that we always associate the Queen of Cups with this fluffy sort of character. She's so sweet and so compassionate. Yes, that's a part of it. But it takes incredible balls, if you will, or massive ovaries in order to love people who are attacking you, in order to love people who are basically, afraid of you or don't approve of you or trying to put you down or bring you down. And it is an incredibly queenly and courageous thing to do and dignified thing to do, to hold yourself together, have composure, and still practice forgiveness and compassion under these circumstances. And it can get rough out there. And I believe that these cards, especially the Spirit Keeper's Tarot here, known as the Ivory Shield, is actually referring to the power and the strength that actually can be found in not just a queen, but even the Queen of Cups. This card is called the Power and Authority of Water. So we have power and authority is found in the Queen of Cups character. And in Latin on the shield is actually the line, the infamous, most powerful line of the Lord's Prayer, which is, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil." And that is an incredible line that really think is we can use right now, is that confidence and that gravity that you are okay and you're going to be taken care of. And because of that, it is okay to show compassion. You have to have courage to show compassion. And it is one of the most queenly things you can do, to just be compassionate, be forgiving of others when it's hard to do. But the lesson here is that that is going to feed not just yourself, but it's going to actually heal the world and heal those around you when you don't crack and you hold your emotional sovereignty together like a queen and just continue to practice compassion, even to people who aren't showing it to you right now. All right, well, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today for our New Moon in Cancer vlog. And another thing, of course, I don't know if I mentioned, but the Queen of Cups is the ruling queen of the sign of Cancer. So definitely this is a very appropriate card to kind of go over. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. And remember, when in doubt, ask yourself always, what would the Queen of Cups do? You can't go wrong by asking yourself that question. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your summer and your summer solstice, and take care.